chatting with Hayley Law about her new indie film, Echo Boomers. How are you, Hayley?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So I watched this. I'm a sucker for a good action crime thriller, and I really enjoyed watching you in this. I've been a fan of yours since Riverdale, so
Thank you.
I've been like, yay. I'm always curious about what draws actors to projects. What was it about this film that pulled you in?
I initially got the script, and as soon as I saw that Michael Shannon was on it, I was interested right away. And I read it and thought it would be really fun, and looked up the rest of the cast and noticed there was no women. And I was like, I want to do this, and I want to be like the only woman slash person of color in this movie, and I want to kick some ass in this thing. And I'm so happy that it worked out.
Yeah, when I first saw the trailer and realized that you were the only woman and the only woman of color, I was like, yeah, I'm sold. I want to talk to her. The movie looks really interesting. And like you said, you play opposite Michael Shannon, Alex Pepper, Patrick Schwarzenegger, to name a few. What was that like? How did you connect with the guys off screen in order to connect within it?
It was good. There was definitely it was a little like a bit of a boys club sometimes, naturally, when there's like a ton of dudes on set. But it was really good. I feel like we all are quite easygoing, and there was a lot of jokes on set, and it was fun. We all ate. There wasn't a ton to do in the area in Salt Lake City where we were, so we all would get like Thai food and stuff when we were done. So it was nice.
Economic news today, many millennials are still struggling financially.
Burnout generation, which is 1% controls more wealth now.
Baby boomers for ruining your lives.
Existing financial crisis.
Thank you for agreeing to talk with me. You will have the opportunity to tell your story. Can you give that to me?
I got a nice job. It's just a startup, and I think you'd be perfect for it.
And what's the business?
Throw this on before you get out.
They would steal anything of value and then just destroy the rest for fun. And Mel Donnelly is how they made money.
You add someone without asking me and bring them to my place of business?
I didn't see anything.
Oh, yeah, you did. You say one word to anyone, I dare you.
Everybody knows very few people have all the wealth, and they like to keep it that way. We're not just stealing, we're sending a message.
If someone considers going off the tracks, my face will be the last thing all of you see.
You have not been honest with me.
You made the choice to make it harder for yourselves.
You don't think I have a plan? We're not here to hurt anybody, right?
I mean, that just went great.
This is the end.
What did you do?
We'd rather be dead than submit to the system.
The connection came across in the movie. I mean, it looked like you guys had known each other for years, and I imagine in order to pull off what you all were pulling off, you would need to have that sort of bond. One of my favorite scenes of you is when your character spray painted "Still Waiting for the Shit to Trickle Down." That was an epic message, and a timely one at that. Why was the group's message important to Allie, your character?
I feel like the way that the message came across to each character was a little bit different. And for Allie, not wanting the stuff that she was stealing or destroying, she was just kind of doing it because she just thought the whole thing was bullshit.
Right.
It was definitely more about the message than the stuff. And I think it kind of relates, not that I would do something like that, but like, I don't care about fancy stuff either. So it's like, I think most importantly for Allie was showing that like this is all BS. It doesn't mean anything. And I do like that the characters in the movie were kind of more about sending a message than stealing the stuff, even though it is quite drastic what they're doing. But I did like that it was more about the message than it was about having stuff, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's what, for your character, that I think that's why you were the glue that kept the group together in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
What I thought was interesting was that everyone had kind of issues stemming from their past. They were all scarred, and so that was their motivation to destroy. But for you, that wasn't the case, and also for Lance. Can you talk a bit about your character's conflict of what she actually wanted to do with her life versus what she ended up doing?
I thought a lot about that when we were shooting it, because when I saw the house that she grew up in was like this mansion, I was like, and I can only think that just from being like previously young and dumb, not now, but I can only think that it was like she was dating this guy and got sucked up in this relationship. Because I can't think of why else she wouldn't pursue, like, because she's talking about things that she's done and she wants to help people and go to Africa and do this, whatever. And I'm like, how did you not pursue that? And the only thing that I could think of is like, you're in a bad relationship and you thought it was going to last forever. And like, obviously it's not. So I blame Ellis for it.
That's relatable on so many levels. Yeah, so which kind of makes sense when Lance came into the picture. I felt like that's when your character Allie started to question everything, and just to question her future. So how was the connection with Lance, played by Patrick Schwarzenegger? Like, how did that help inform your character?
I feel like maybe she was seeing a bit of herself kind of falling off, and it was like a little bit horrific for her. And it kind of, I mean, there's a part where she's talking about how he just loved doing it because he was just like maybe a little bit nutty or whatever. And I think that was a moment where she was like, oh my God, is this what I look like? Is this what I'm doing? Like he was a wholesome, you know, he had a good path going, and then he just left it and is doing this now, and this is not stable or reliable. And I think that seeing him fall down that kind of route made her realize this is not right.
Yeah, I do remember that scene, and I remember the look on your face, and I was trying to figure out what that look meant to you. So I'm so glad that you explained it. I remember that was the scene that Lance was just enjoying the destruction of it all, and you're walking past it, and you kind of look at him like, wow. I kind of took it as you didn't know what to make of Lance, like you didn't like him. But in the same breath, you kind of saw yourself, and I think that's what you didn't like about it, which I think
I think so too.
Yeah. And so Echo Boomers is a heavily messaged film. Misguided youth gone wild because the system failed them. And it's not a far-fetched reality. When you first read the script, what did you think about how this would be received?
When I first read it, I thought a lot about it because I wanted to know more. To me, thinking about watching it for me personally, I needed to know more about the characters, because I feel like there's a very thin line between bratty boys just wanting to destroy stuff, and you know what I mean? Because like, when I hear that someone comes from like a rich family and this and that, but they're still destroying stuff, I'm like, well, I need to know that they're struggling. I need to know what their struggle is before I just like read that they're smashing houses and stealing stuff, but like they're not really struggling. So I think that it's interesting that their kind of motive is that they all have degrees and can't get a job, and knowing that aspect of it, I found it more interesting, because if the first time I read it, I was like, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
Just for fun? I don't understand.
Right.
But and I know there's a lot of people in situations that are. I didn't go to university, unfortunately. Well, whatever. But people that have spent $100,000 on school that can't get a job. It's so incredibly frustrating, especially now with COVID. Like, I just can't imagine just finishing school and like trying to get a job right now. So, I mean, I get the frustration, and it's definitely not far off from many issues that we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that stuck out to me was you do all of this, but then the money's getting squandered, right? Like, we're not even saving it. We're not even planning.
We're still getting screwed.
We're screwing ourselves while trying to screw other people, and then blowing the money. And so I think while the message is heavy on, like how the system has failed us, I do appreciate that it also showed the other side. Like, we're going so hard doing this, but also we're not really doing what we're supposed to be doing with everything that we have going on.
Definitely.
What was the most memorable part for you or experience within shooting this film?
The DP that we worked with, his name is Carlos Verón, and he was so hands-on, and I just have never worked with anyone like him. And he was so trusting and was like, I want you to just do it. He's from Argentina. He's like so passionate, and he's just the best DP I've ever worked with. And I'm still close with him, and I definitely want to work with him again. And it was just making a film with someone like that was so cool. I haven't worked on too many things, but and I've worked with really, really great DPs, but there's just, I don't know, something special about him. He's just a really incredible DP.
It enhanced the experience.
Yeah, totally. And he's got the camera right in your face, so it's really nice to trust and enjoy the person who's 2 feet away from you. And when you're crying, and when I was doing the overdose thing, and it was so sad, and Carlos was just so supportive and was like, it's totally great. You look great. I mean, you look terrible, but you look great.
You look great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great shot. The close-up shot of your head.
Yeah, so nasty.
Just overdosing. That was pretty intense.
Yeah.
I imagine that the whole joy of destruction, like, how cathartic was that? Just tearing it up.
It was crazy. And we could only do it once because they couldn't reset the broken glass. And after we did it, I was like, oh my God, I was holding on to some stuff I didn't know. I just needed to let that out. That felt great. I was like, is that it? Can we smash some more stuff? And they're like, you smashed all the stuff. And I was like, no.
Not only were you delivering a message, but therapy was involved in this.
Oh, yeah. Now I understand those places people go that smash a bunch of stuff.
Exactly.
Before I was like, I don't know if I'd go there. Now I'm like, where's the closest one?
So, complete side note, you are a recording artist, which is not something a lot of people know. What can you tell us about that?
I started recording music maybe a couple years before I started acting, and
nice.
I love doing both. Now I love doing both a lot because when one stresses me out, I can kind of focus on the other one, which is great.
Definitely.
But yeah, I've just been recording a ton of music and just trying to put as much out as I can. Hopefully in the next few months, I'm going to put out 5 or 6 songs, videos.
Oh, cool.
That's a lot.
And it's
fun. I'm
looking forward to seeing that. So is it more like R&B or is it pop related? R&B?
It's I would say both.
Okay.
I can never, because every time I upload a song, I have to choose a genre, and I'm like, I don't know if it's R&B or pop. I think R&B.
Okay.
I don't know. I always struggle with picking one.
Nice. So this movie comes out November 13th in theaters, on demand, and digital. What can people expect? What do you want the masses to know?
Oh man, it's gonna be a wild ride. It's gonna be, you might get sad, you might cry, you're gonna get pissed off, you might smash some stuff in your house. I hope you don't smash stuff in your house after, but it's a really fun movie. Yeah,
I've been reading people's comments in on the trailer on YouTube, and people are excited about this for so many different reasons. Sure. So I'm looking forward to November 13th and seeing
thank you.
Yeah. So listen, thank you so much for talking.
Thank you.
Film.com. It's been a pleasure. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much. You too.
Bye.